Welcome to the Vault XL. Thank you all so much for joining me. Happy holidays to everyone. This is a SmackDown Saturday event where I bring you updates pertaining to breaking news, interesting stories, and my commentary, of course. This commentary for this afternoon will be pertaining to Mr. Todd Chrisley. He has some complaints about prison life, a Texas church gift card fraud debacle, and a witness who's come forward to bring some information pertaining to Casey Anthony. One moment, please. I'm going to go in here and edit something right quick. Thank you for joining me. Hope you all are well. I always have more things to do than what I plan. Okay. One second, everybody. Doing some cleanup work right quick. Hope you all are well. Just 1 second. Okay. Hopefully that'll clear it up. Sorry about that. I left out a letter in my title. So Todd Chrisley had a reality show with his wife and family for many years. And he has spoken with News Nation. I'm going to bring you that commentary. I'm going to bring you commentary pertaining to a Texas church. Two members are going to be speaking about gift card fraud and how they are getting to run around with the Walmart that they purchased the cards from. And this is also a cautionary tale to those of you who like to purchase gift cards and may receive gift cards at any time, not just, the holiday season. But I thought it was appropriate to go ahead and bring that information forward because they bought these cards to give to people at the church where they attend church for Christmas. It's Christmas gifts. And then we have my last commentary. A new witness has come forward to give information pertaining to Casey Anthony. And this is, I guess, in a rebuttal to her defense claims. Frankly, I don't know what her defense was, actually. Because the finger was pointed, I believe, at the father, the brother. Her attorney tried to link in the man who discovered the body. He was a utility worker or some type of worker who's out in the field working, doing work for the city. So I don't really know what the defense was. One thing we do know, Baez did all he could to get her off. And sadly, it worked. Let's start with my updates. Thank you all so much for joining me. Tonight on CBS, 48 Hours, there will be a 48-hour special pertaining to an African-American female who went missing, and it's called Andre McDonald, A Millionaire Vanishes, and it will air tonight at 10 p.m. on CBS. So if you're interested in watching this episode of 48 Hours, please tune in to CBS at 10 p.m. tonight. Hello, Lola. How are you, sweetie? Thank you. Thank you. Glad to keep you company. Once again, 48 Hours tonight at 10 p.m., a story of a very well-to-do African-American female that went missing. And I do believe her husband will be the suspect implicated in her disappearance. Thank you all so much for joining me. Okay. And also check out Death at the Front Door, also by 48 Hours. This was uploaded one day ago, full episode on 48 Hours on YouTube if you would like to watch that episode. I'm going to also bring you some of my polls that I posted 20 hours ago. Please take the polls if you want to give your commentary pertaining to the said information. And also you are welcome to comment below the poll. Should we have a law that mandates castration and removal of female organs if found guilty of child molestation or rape of an adult? 75% of you said yes. 25% of you said no. Rather minor or severe cases of child neglect and abuse, should judges give automatic jail or prison time? No exceptions. 91% said yes. 9% said no. Should the state have a law implemented to medically remove reproductive organs if a woman or man is found guilty of child abuse? 69% said yes, 31% said no. 2 comments. Amethyst Pisces 7284 commented 8 hours ago. I say no because a person could be wrongfully convicted and never did the crime. If it is determined later on that someone lied on a person and their organs are removed, then that person is forever ruined for nothing. I think that idea is too broad and wide open. Some refining would need to happen. The Queen responds, well, we have DNA now, especially with regard to children. There's no logical reason nor explanation that a person can give to why their secretions would be inside or on their bodies. So that was my response to her comment. When it comes to children, there's no reason for, as I just stated there, for there to be any DNA, sexual DNA, inside of a child and or on his or her persons when it comes to rape and or child molestation. Are you currently homeless? 4% said no. 96% said no. 4% said no. Oh God, I can't get this right. 4% said yes, and 96% said no. Sorry about that. 96% of you are not currently homeless. Who can you trust? Number 1 replied, I was as a teenager, lived in unlocked cars and broke into basements. I replied, wow, are you male, female? How old are you now? And what are you doing presently for a living? Who can you trust? Number 1 replied, I'm a female, married, homeowner, grandmother, and although I don't work any longer, I did have a good job in a good field. The Queen replied, okay, I was curious. Thanks for sharing. Happy holidays. And let the person know that I was going live. Also, Kelly Mack replied, in today's economy, I think most people are one emergency away from homelessness. And Kelly Mack, you are so correct. And that has been said by many experts in the economic field, that most people are one paycheck away from being homeless. So please check my community board for the said homeless documentary that I recommended. Is a very informative documentary, and it just shows you how people are living currently and how some people had to live in their cars, currently living in their cars. And that's another thing. Imagine not having a car and you get destitute for some reason, whatever the reason. Now you have to find a place to live, house your belongings, put your belongings somewhere, sell them, whichsoever, put them in storage, pay for storage, and then also have to find you somewhere to stay. It is better if you do have a car, because it is known that you can always sleep in your car if you can't sleep anywhere else. But then the gist of that is, imagine sleeping in your car, you have a job, got to be able to go take a bath, brush your teeth. And then the worst case scenario, your car breaks down. Now what? So imagine having a job, you're living in your car breaks down. Now you got to get your car to safety to be repaired. Might even have the money to repair it. A few coins saved up, but not even enough to put down on an apartment. Some will, bicker about that. But what are you going to do if you can't sleep in the car? Where are you going to sleep? Why even your car repaired if you even had the money to get the car repaired? See, it's always something. And most people live hand to mouth. They barely have enough money to survive. Most people don't have health insurance. That's another issue with our citizens in this country. They work, but they don't have medical insurance, don't have life insurance. And the state will pay for your children up until the age of 21 if they're currently going to school after the age of 18, such as college, trade school. Your kids can still get medical through the state. But if you're an adult living in the United States, you don't work, you don't have any income, the state won't pay for any type of medical insurance for you. So that's why you make sure that when your children have been afforded the opportunity to have medical insurance by the state, let's say, or any insurance company, you send them to the doctor, take them to the doctor, keep up with their shots, immunizations, make sure they are cared for, make sure their teeth are clean, properly taken care of, because you do not want to wait till you get 18, 19, and then now you're crying about medical problems, such as with your teeth. That's why you take care of your children's teeth. So they don't have to have teeth problems when they become an adult. Now, it's not to say that they can't have problems, of course, from health issues and or just poor hygiene. But at least you can say, well, up until the age of 18, I took care of my child's teeth and made sure he or she went to the dentist, and I made all dentist appointments. It's just a little information added on to the homelessness crisis here in America. Please check out the commentary. I think you will enjoy it if you have any empathy inside of you. Thank you all so much for joining me. Just reading off the polls on my channel. So once again, 96% of you are not homeless here in the United States. Would you divorce your spouse if they were scammed out of all monies from their or joint bank accounts? I posed this question because I brought you commentary of an East Tennessee Caucasian man who killed himself not too long ago up in Jonesboro, Tennessee. He got scammed by a Black couple out of New Jersey. He sent them money because they were pretending to be FBI agents and accused him of stalking a celebrity that he was corresponding with. Well, all of this was a ruse. There was no celebrity. There was no celebrity writing him, sending him photos. They were the celebrity pretending to be this person, whoever she is, was. And then they also were the same people pretending to be the FBI. Sadly, this man took his own life. But the gist of the story is that he was married. So I posed this question in regard to that storyline. Would you divorce your spouse if they squandered away all your money in your bank account or their bank account? Because some of you don't have bank accounts with your spouses or your mates. Some of you do have joint accounts. To each its own. 19% of you said yes. Wait a minute, let me go back. Hold on. No, sorry about that. That's the next question. 26% of you said yes, you would divorce the spouse. 50% of you said no. 24% of you said not sure. We had one comment. Who can you trust? Number one said, if it was a romantic scam of some kind, yes. Who can you trust? I wish I had you up here because I would surely drop the link if you are somewhere listening to this live stream. I'd like to know why. Give your commentary. You said yes. So that means yes, you would divorce the spouse, because that's the question I did ask. And only 26% of you said yes. That's more interesting. Out of 38 votes, 50% of you said no, you wouldn't divorce them. Why not? Why wouldn't you divorce your spouse? They've lied to you. They've been secretly talking to somebody else, and you're married to them, and then they spent the money, gave the money away. So it really doesn't matter if they gave it away willingly because the person asked for money, or the FBI said, you got to send us money because you're stalking this person, blah, blah, blah. Because as I said, I find it strange that this man was an educated man and he did not know about catfishing schemes and scams. And he willingly believed that this person was the FBI contacting him. And he didn't even ask himself, how did the FBI get my number, email? Oh, she must have gave it, of course. And if you know willingly that you weren't, stalking this person, why would you go along with even believing that this person is real? And then that was lead me to the question of why am I not questioning this person who I've been talking to? And I know I haven't stalked them. We have been willingly exchanging pictures and letters, blah, 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 commentary, text. But maybe this man was, as we say, an old fool. He had no idea that who he had been talking to wasn't real, and that the FBI agent wasn't real. Very interesting information. Okay, everybody. So once again, 26% of you said you would divorce the spouse if they got scammed out of all their monies and your money as well. 50% of you said no, 24% of you said not sure. The next question is, could you forgive your spouse if they gave all your monies to a scammer who blackmailed them? 19% of you said yes, 64% of you said no, and then 17% of you said not sure. 59 votes. And really, this poll doesn't make any sense because it's really no different than what I just asked you in the question before. Because the question before, I'm asking you, would you divorce the person? 26% of you said you would. 50% would stay. But then if I asked, the next question I ask you about forgiving them, only 19% would forgive them. So that's kind of contradictory to forgiving and staying. I'm confused. 17% of you said you're not sure. One person commented, 82,566 said, no way. And then I kicked myself for marrying someone so dense. Very interesting. Exactly. Because in the end, as I said before with this elderly man, he had a lot of nice things said about him on his obituary, on the website, to the funeral home. But do these people have that same commentary now that they know that he was online dilly-dallying around with an imaginary woman? Because in the end, whether he went looking for a woman or a woman contacted him, he didn't have to respond. And he sure as hell didn't have to send the money to an alleged FBI agent. So he had responsibility in this debacle, whether people want to accept it or not. And that's the thing with many of us. We don't want to own our SHIT. We don't want to own our part. We don't want to own that, hey, we went looking for trouble. Hey, I put my foot in that hot water and I got burned. Or I had a chance to get out of the water and I stayed in anyway. And that's the situation here. He didn't have to respond if the person sought him out, number one. If he went looking for a woman, that was on his own. So you're asking for trouble to do that. And number three, when the person decided to blackmail you, this imaginary FBI agent, you should have blocked delete. Because guess what? As I said before in the last live stream, the problem would have went away because the person did not exist. The girl wasn't real, the woman wasn't real, and nor was the FBI agent. Please check out that live stream. I think you'll find it very interesting, the said information. Real case right out of East Tennessee, right up the road. All righty, let's see what other questions the Queen has for you guys. Just bringing you updates before I get into the main event this afternoon. Next question. If you became homeless, could you survive living on the streets or in your car? 26 votes. 23% yes, 27% no, 15% not sure. Next option is for a short while, few days to a month, 35%. So most of you said you could survive a short while, few days to a month. Very interesting. If you were evicted or lost your apartment home today, would you have a place to go? 44% said yes, 28% said no, 28% not sure, 18 votes. Very interesting. So it's a tie between no, you wouldn't have anywhere to go, and some of you said not sure at 28%. Interesting. Do you think the Farrer's son is a wayward child or has been brainwashed into believing he is a bad kid? 11% says they believe he's wayward. 56% of you believe he's brainwashed. 33% of you not sure. 33% you're not sure. That was just 9 votes. Should handcuffs be used on children to subdue bad behavior in schools and DCS facilities? 17% said yes. 61% said no. 22% of you said you are not sure. So then what we have to ask ourselves, most of you at 61% believe that we shouldn't be using handcuffs on children. Then how would these workers, guards, subdue a wayward child, out of control, wailing, screaming, hollering, fighting back? What would be your method? of subduing him. I need to put that up there as a poll as well. What would be your method, your suggestion? Should a child be left alone in a room in school as punishment? 8% yes, 81% no, not sure, 12%. I brought you that information because we have a case right here in East Tennessee, Knoxville, where an African-American young lady went to school to go attend a program, and her 4-year-old was in a locked room by himself with someone guarding the door, and nobody can give her an explanation to how long he was in there, how many times he's been locked in a room alone, and why he was in there in the first place. The explanation was, he had broken crayons and pencils, and that was his punishment. So she asked her child how long had he been in that room before. He told her yes, he had, and he kept telling her, I feel trapped. I feel trapped. And this is even after, naturally, he's not in the room. So now the child possibly has been traumatized by being closed up in a room alone. And one suggestion was, I believe from the school policy, 1 minute per age of the child. So let's say the child is 4, he or she should only be locked in a room for 4 minutes. I also heard that the room was only big enough to put a cot in, I think. So not a very big room. And naturally, the smaller the room, you would feel claustrophobic, especially if you're an adult. But anyway, this is a child. So give me your commentary on that, how you feel about that. Locking kids up in rooms. Very interesting information. Now, earlier, I asked you all some questions pertaining to the man who was scammed, elderly man, who then later killed himself. And we're going to get to that question too. But before that, I asked you this 23 hours ago. Should judge have given female who threw food in face of Chipotle employee more time in jail? 81% said yes, 19% said no. Do you feel sorry for elderly man scammed by New Jersey couple, even though he was married? Sorry. Those who felt sorry for him, 65%, the most. 6% of you don't feel sorry for him. More sorry if he was single, 12%, and doesn't matter either way, 18%. How do you feel about homelessness in America? I do care, 94%. Not interested, 6%. Not sure, 0%. 5 responses. Sinaloa Taco says, it's sad and a huge problem, only getting worse by the day. Government probably wants them all to perish. Queen replies, geez, Tacos, really? If that's the case, some of them probably wish a lot of folks would perish in general. Wink emoji. Myra's 5420 responds, exactly. And then Tacos responds, true Queen. I feel that too. Yeah, the government probably would like a lot of people to disappear just in general. All right, just bringing you the latest updates and polls. And then I also put up a day ago. Kay Woodcock says, through a source, she heard that Lori Vallow is not happy about extradition to Arizona. Thoughts? One person replied. Gold Runner 4459 says, nobody cares, Lori. The Queen hearted that comment because I do agree. Nobody cares, Lori. And as I said before, I believe she finally realized how serious her crimes are. And she was probably comfortable where she was. She's gotten used to the staff, the food, the routine, the inmates. Now she has to start all over. But that's the choice she made. So that's on her. Thank you all so much for joining me. I'm going to get into my commentary now because I'm already 24 minutes into all these updates. Thank you all so much for taking the polls, commenting, and also tuning into this live stream on this rainy Saturday in the high 10. Because yes, it is raining here. It's supposed to be at 100%. So not a good day to run around, but it's Christmas time. So many people will probably be out. I haven't decided what I want. Don't have a lot to spend to buy anything. So it's not that I really need anything per se, just gotta have, but it's always nice to treat yourself. All right, everybody. Let's go to Texas. Some shenanigans is going on with some gift cards that some church members purchased. And we're going to get into that commentary right now. Thank you for joining me. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $DeGanji 129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are always welcome during the live stream. I'm also going to bring you how these scams come about so you can beware in case you decide to buy a gift card from Target, Walmart, Kroger, or if you receive a gift card. It is your choice. The information I'm bringing you also states it is safer to do it online, but as I read with that, it still can be scammed just as well through online. It's up to you. KPRC2 Click Houston is the source of this information, everybody. Two women from the same church will be giving you commentary pertaining to this gift card scam of gift cards purchased from Walmart. Please listen carefully to what they are saying, because this could be you picking up these gift cards that have been jimmied with. So if you want to give gifts, I don't know how you're going to do it unless you're buying the gifts directly, taking them to the store, or you give them the money. And most people aren't going to give people cash money at church or through organizations, through church, shelters and things. That's why they give gift cards. But you can still give somebody a gift card and they sell the gift card. I mean, it can go both ways. So it's up to you how you navigate. KPRC2 Click Houston, this is the source, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Prayers to these women that they get their money back.
United Methodist Church. So every year we go and buy Walmart cards that cover incidentals for our families to go along with the presents that we give them. So on Monday, I went to the Walmart at Westheimer and Kirkwood, and I purchased $1,000 worth of Walmart gift cards. The next day, I always take the activation code and I tape it on the back of the card so that the person that receives it realizes that, yes, this is how much money they have, and it has been activated. When I tried to do that, I realized only one card, the activation code matched the number on the back of the card. So I had 3 cards there worth $800 that the activation codes did not match the number on the back of the card. So I went over to the Walmart and I talked to, I think what you'd call probably the floor manager over there. And they needed to see the receipt. They needed to go.
Before I let her finish this information, surely would have been a great thing had she looked at those codes before purchasing them. Oh, what a mess. Always look at everything you buy, because we are in such a rush to get things. And when you're not knowledgeable of schemes and scams, I mean, I'd heard of, the gift card scam, gas card scams, but I didn't know how they worked. And I wasn't trying to find out. But now we know. And I'm going to bring you that after this commentary plays on how the scam works, so you will know. But I'm going to say right now, just don't buy them. I hate to say that, but just don't buy them. Just don't buy the gift cards.
They needed to see the receipt. They needed to go look at the camera footage that showed, yes, I actually purchased the cards. We ran the cards through, and one card had already been, I don't know whether you call it drained. All the while, the cards have been only in my possession. So the question was, how does this happen? And if this has happened to us, who else is this happening to? Because what you have to do is you pick up the cards basically around the register areas, but you have to go to the money center to actually get the cards activated. So they have you on camera. They can go back and look at the camera. They can see that, yes, it was you. You were purchasing these cards. They wanted to see my receipt. And then after that, it was like, well, we're going to have to look into it. So when I went back They said, yes, they had seen camera of, I think, somebody using the card at the Wayside, I think it was the Wayside Walmart. And I asked to talk to the general manager of the store that I was at, and they said, well, he can't talk to you. This is not a problem at our store. If you want to get the money back on this card, you have to go over to Wayside to get the money put back to the card. And I said, I don't want the money put back on the card, because if it got drained once, why would it not get drained again? There's a problem going on.
This is where I'm going to interject again. The Walmart that she purchased the cards from, I feel you are responsible because you're the one who sold her the card. She didn't buy the card from the Wayside. You act like she bought the card from the Wayside and then got hoodwinked, bamboozled at the Wayside by somebody else going in Wayside store to spend the damn card. She bought it from your store. So you sold her the Jimmy card. So that means somebody from your store or had access to the card somehow, either online, phishing, however it goes, or went in and switched the codes. And I don't understand that either. I was, beating my head against a wall before going live, trying to figure out, how do you switch the codes in the store when they're right there at the register? 9 times out of 10, there's thousands of cameras watching. It's too time consuming. You can steal 1,000 things out of a store in the time you would waste standing at the register, picking up the cards. Now you got to go somewhere to take the damn strip off, put another strip in its place, then go back and put the card back up there. And you mean to tell me no camera would catch somebody doing this? This is very strange to me. I don't know how they're doing it. I did learn that there's ways they do it through going through the database, which to me would be much easier. But then the flip side of that is, how do you know when to go look at the... This is crazy to me. How do you know when to try to spend the money? This is all strange to me how they do this, because I'm going to go to the register, take the strip off, put another strip in its place, put the card back, and then how do I know when they have purchased the card? So that means you'd also have to have the 1-800 number. I'm very confused at this. Even though I've read through the ways of doing it, this way to me is confusing. And it seems easier you would get caught this way by trying to take off strips in the store, put another strip in its place. That just seems like too much damn work to me. That's just me personally. I'm sorry. I don't get it.
Money put back on the card, because if it got drained once, why would it not get drained again? There's a problem going on. We want our money back. And they said, we're sorry, we can't give you your money back. Your only chance of getting any money back is taking this one card over to the other Walmart and talking to them. And that is when they started not being very friendly. Once again, could not reach any person by phone, or could not ever talk to the general manager. And then I had to go out of town, so I passed it on to my friend, Brenda Dealey.
Let me ask you another question. Any idea what happened? How?
When you look at the card, the back of the card, it is not at all obvious that anything has happened to that card. The only problem that I had was that the activation code on my receipt did not match the card number that I had in my possession. So 3 of the 4 cards had card numbers that did not match activation codes. And as it turned out, those are the 3 cards that got...
This is for jobless.
Sorry about that commercial. So they should not look at the cards before taking them to the register to make sure that the seals hadn't been tampered with. Because, most of those gift cards, you have to scratch off the back number, the gray bar, scratch that off to get the activation code. And as you see, she didn't have to go call a 1-800 number to activate it. She did it at the money center. So this is strange to me. And you're going to hear also say how this could have been avoided. They had these in lock boxes. Exactly. Why do you have cards just sitting around? You should have the cards locked up in a box, just like you do. Yeah, cigarettes, all that on top of nonsense, liquor, whatever. And this would be unavoidable. The only person that would have access to doing this, once again, would be somebody fishing through the internet database of the company and or people that's working in the store. It's very strange information.
Hey, don't you remember those stimulus?
Sorry about that. Oh, Lord, these commercials, they just keep jumping in.
Right.
What about the police? Do you make the police report? What did they say to you?
Brenda and I went over and talked to the police. We gave them a report. They took our information, and then we had a chance to talk to a detective yesterday. Very, very nice gentleman, and they are going to be looking into it, and they don't know whether this is possibly an inside job or whether it is just a situation where it has to do with people figuring out how to take Walmart cards. And even though they do not have them in their possession, they are able to use them. And
Right.
we don't know. We have no answers.
So what next? You know, do you want your money back? Do you want a response from Walmart? You know, I think Walmart is not doing enough right now in this case. No?
Well, I went ahead and called my Capital One credit card, which is what I put it on, and they have put a hold on the payment. I will have to give them more information for them to maintain that hold. But yes, we need our money back. We're going to come up with something different for our families, but we'll be giving money to our families this Sunday. Obviously, we will not be giving them Walmart cards. But, you know, two things. We got no response from the general manager at Walmart or really anyone else. If this is happening to us, we are not the only people. Because the cards are just there around the register area. You have to take them to the money center to get them activated. We can't be the only people that are having this problem. There are going to be an awful lot of people at Chrisley's that are going to get their cards. They're going to go and purchase things. And when they get to the cash register, those cards will have no money on them. That's a terrible thing. That is a terrible thing to happen. And like I said, it can't be just us. But if we had not gotten this figured out, we would have been handing out cards to our families. They would have been filling up their baskets with toys and food. They would have gotten to the cash register.
Oh, yeah.
And cards that had been given to them by a church would be empty. And that is a terrible thing. And that needs to be fixed. They need to figure out what's going on. In the meantime, I myself would like to see them take every single one of those Walmart cards away from the cash registers so that nobody else can use it.
Anything else that you want to update? You think is important?
Britta took over and actually went to the other Walmart where the first card was hacked. And
so they already start using those cards.
3 cards have been totally drained, and they've been drained at 3 different Walmarts. Is that correct, Brenda?
That is correct. The first one was, go ahead.
Now, are you done? Do you have anything to say?
1, we need our money back. 2, Walmart has a big problem. And 3, response from somebody in the store would be helpful. To have radio silence on something like this that affects other people is not the way to go to make anybody want to shop at that store.
Thank you. This is such a appreciate. Okay, no, okay. Put the other side.
You moved the look spot. Where do I look now?
You look perfect.
No, not what. How do I look? Where do I look?
Ooh,
Okie doke.
she seems a little rough around the edges, Grandma. Golly. Yikes. Thank you all for joining me. This is another young lady speaking, older church member. Oh, it's always something.
Brenda Dealey, Dealy.
Miss Brenda, you know, I don't think this is fair what happened to your friend. Can you just talk to me a little bit about it?
When Susan had to leave town, she brought all of the gift cards and information to our house, and we followed up on Friday of last week. When we got to the store, the floor manager with whom Susan had spoken was clearly upset that this was still an issue for her because she had given Susan a solution that she believed Susan had chosen not to take. So as a result, she insisted that we have to go to Walmart on Wayside to get any money back at all, thinking at that point only one card was drained. At that point, I asked her if she would run the other 2 cards to see if they were safe, or the other 3 cards at that point. 1 was still fine. 2 had been drained by that point. And she immediately had a change in her facial expression and in her demeanor toward us, realizing that Walmart had a bigger problem than 1 card. So we decided to drive over to Wayside. When we got there, still unable to speak to a general manager, but a very nice floor manager at Wayside checked it and said, I don't show a transaction for that time with what I can see. The floor manager would have to look further if it were a video. So we left. There was nothing else for us to do. And the floor manager at Kirkwood told us that she would have an answer for us on Monday. At that point, she told us that there was nothing they could do. They didn't give refunds on gift cards. And for us to get our money back, we had to wait for the Walmart fraud division to finish their investigation. And she had no idea how long that would take. And as Susan had just said, we are literally giving that money to families this Sunday with Christmas presents, and felt a little pressed for time. And so that's why we're here. In the time that we began talking to Walmart, there are still, to this day, hundreds of cards at the register that people can just walk in and take. How they do it, we have no idea, but they are still able to do that. It surprises me that cigarettes are locked up in a store. You have to have a key to get in and protect the cigarettes. You have to have a key to get in and protect other things from being shoplifted. But no one is thinking to protect the gift cards that are going to innocent people who need them. So that's where we are.
When a person have, for example, your card, and is going to Walmart to get something with that card, that person must be in camera. It must be the,
Yes.
There's another video of Walmart. See, okay, this is the person that is using the card on this system. They don't do anything about that? Because
At this point, no. They even told us there was a video available.
check the security cameras.
They have, and nothing has moved forward to our knowledge from what we're told.
I'm going to interject right here. This is the second lady speaking who took over from the first lady because the first lady had to go out of town. So the second lady who's speaking right now was navigating on behalf of the first church member. The first church member allegedly was given an option to settle the situation. What was the option? Because I didn't hear it maybe, or I misheard. You hear the second lady saying she was given an option at the first store where they purchased the cards. Well, what was that option? Because I think they don't give refunds on gift cards. You know, if you buy it, whether with cash or a credit card. You also heard the first lady say she purchased this with a credit card and told her credit card company to hold it, Capital One. And I don't blame her. That was a good decision. Thank God they didn't spend cash. But yes, hold it. And she has to get back with them to bring them the said information. Best thing you can do is get a police report, fax it to them, Capital One, and or if they have a way, you can send it visually through an email. You send them that information. And then they will navigate with the police department, Walmart. And there's also another entity I'm going to mention later during this live where you can call. It's probably a federal number that deals with this type of fraud for gift cards. And they will get to the bottom, hopefully, of any gift card fraud that you may encounter. But that's the point. People don't know about these entities if they've never had to deal with it. You just think, well, I'll go back to Walmart. That's where I bought the damn card. And they'll settle it, as you see, The Walmart wants to send her over here to the place where the people actually use the damn card. So it's like running around in circles, but you already got the money. Everybody got the money. Everybody's doing well but me. I got the card. I'm trying to give this card to somebody because in the end, it don't matter who I'm giving it to. My money has been spent. And now I can't even use the card. And yes, I'd be upset. $800, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money right now to just chalk up, and somebody else has run off with the information and been spending a little bit. Like I said, how they're doing it, I don't know. It makes me think that somebody's doing it in a database. I'm not saying that people don't take the strips off and replace them, but you still got to be able to know when somebody has purchased it. Because it's still, I can't still put in my brain switching the strips off, putting another strip on. Then that person goes and you put the card back. This just makes no sense to me. Still, how is the person going to spend it just off a card, off the number? You still would have to know that somebody has bought the damn card. And when you buy something, you still would have to have the card yourself. So this is where I'm confused. Maybe I'm slow today, but I don't understand the switching of the strips and stuff, because it makes no sense if I take a strip off. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. This is pissing me off because I don't understand what the hell's going on. Sorry about that, everybody.
From what we're told.
So what next?
That's where it ended. There's nothing else they can tell us except you have to wait for fraud,
Which is why we went to the police.
and contacted you because this is susceptible to anybody buying a gift card from any store where the card is hanging out in full view to be picked up at will. It can be picked up by the wrong person and put back.
Anything else that you want to have to get?
No.
Could I just add that
Well, she couldn't add anything. Commercial break. Thank you all so much for joining me. Like I said, I did my research earlier before going live, trying to get a better understanding of this gift card shenanigans. The online situation, I think I can understand a little bit better. The phishing attempts through the database, but the in-store switching of the strips is where I'm confused, because I can't understand taking the strip off. I put another strip on. Still, how am I able to use it without having an actual card? Because she has the card. That's the part where I'm confused. She has the card. But obviously there's the fraud. The fraud is with the strips and the activations. This is baffling to me.
Okay.
I would just like to add that when you look at the back of the card, it is not apparent at all that it has been manipulated. So if you were to look at the back of a card and say, this one looks like a good one, nobody's scratched it, there's no sign that
There you go,
anybody
right
has
there.
messed with it.
Thank you.
Those are the cards that I have in my possession.
So everything happened on Monday when you went to buy those cards.
No, it took them a while to drain the cards. So I went on Monday a week ago. The first card got drained on Tuesday of $200. The other two cards were drained in the around 12.2, 12.3, somewhere in that variety. And what was interesting is they took bits of money off these cards, not the whole thing.
Originally.
So the two $300 cards, they had like about $8 or $9 taken off, and then another $250 so odd dollars, and then the remainder, and then it got down to zero. So it was not done at one time.
So
That was interesting.
Are we talking about the euros and us?
$800.
$800.
$800 is a lot of money.
Yes, it is.
And it's coming out of a Sunday school group that puts money into the donation basket all year long in order to be able to provide for this kind of thing.
So you were thinking to help people with those.
Yes. Yes.
What's the message that you can, send to those people that they're doing this? It's like they don't have nothing to do, just like doing bad things.
Well, I think there's, when you get a card and then all of a sudden you realize there's no money on it, which happens to all of us, there's sort of an embarrassment. You're afraid to go back to that person and say, I tried to use this card, but there was no money on it. I think you need to go and report it because, once again, I think this is a pretty major, I guess you would call it a scam, whatever way they are draining these cards. And the people that give you the cards need to know about it so that they also can go report this to Walmart. We're not the only ones this is happening to.
There's more people that maybe
There have got to be a lot more people. I couldn't have been the only person that picked out those special cards that this person had access to and drained. So, as Brenda said, there are hundreds of those cards sitting at the registers.
There and at other stores. I think the responsibility lies on the merchant. Lies on the merchant to protect the cards that they sell you. And if that requires them to be behind lock and key before you purchase them, then that's where it should be.
All right, everybody. Let's read some of the comments below the video because some of these people have some experiences pertaining to the gift card debacle. Use discretion when purchasing the cards from places such as Walmart, Target, and also in receiving them. Okay, everybody, let's see some of the comments. Okay. This lady is handling this with class and grace. She's right for warning the rest of us. It's pitiful. This is somebody else. There's a scam at every turn. I gave my son a Texas Roadhouse card for a gift. When they had their meal and went to pay with the card, the cashier said it wasn't valid. The truth is the male cashier pocketed the card himself and later got the value of it in cash from the register. I learned my lesson. Very interesting. How would he been done that? Now somebody said, do you know for a fact that it was the TR cashier who took the money, or could it have been someone at the place where you originally purchased it? Somebody says, agree with you. Then somebody else said, Walmart knew they have problems for years, but don't do anything about it. No, one thing you do if cashier says not valid, keep it. Don't let them throw it away because that can happen. Exactly. Took the words right out of my mouth. If indeed I went, gave you a card, or I spent the card at the restaurant and they say it's not valid, first thing I'm going to say is, let me have the card back, please. And I'm going to call right then the 1-800 number, bingo card. Stay woke. This is why you have to pay attention. There's no way I'm going to give you a gift card to buy food at a restaurant, wherever I'm at, and you say it ain't valid. Well, guess what I'm getting ready to do? Ding, 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 ding. Can I have the card back, please? Let me call the 1-800 number, because there should be a number on there, because every card from a company that you get, I don't care what it is, Target, Walmart, Red Lobster, whoever gives a card, they have a number to verify the damn card. Why wouldn't they? You call. How do you think you find out what your balance is? You call the damn company. That's the number is on the card. I'd call the company. You think he's getting ready to hold the damn card? Hell no. I'm getting ready to say, sir, give me that card back. Let me call him. And that's where if he thought he was getting ready to do some scam, he wasn't about to do it right there because I'm getting ready to call the card. I'm saying, can I have the card back? Let me call and verify myself. And he wouldn't sit here and tell me either. Listen at this now. Oh, no, we have to keep this because it's fraud. No, baby, that's mine, and I'm going to verify it. It'd be no different if you gave your Visa card and they declined your Visa card. They don't have the right to keep your Visa card because you don't even know why it's declined. So it's your right to investigate to see what the problem is with your card. So therefore, baby, hand mama the card back. I'm going to call the number, and then you will verify for yourself if there's funds on the card or not. You got to stay awake now. Got to stay awake. Okay. Okay. Let's see who else. People are so funny. Thanks to her for notifying us. Houston is becoming a cesspool of crime. Walmart needs to find out who is responsible and send them to jail and give this lady her money back. If I were her, I'd sue the store and the employee behind the scam. Very interesting. Walmart is the one hiring those said thieves. Well, that's between them and Walmart. How about that? Another lady responds, this happened to me years ago. I had purchased a $100 gift card for my daughter to be mailed out at Christmas. It was never sent. Walmart refused to reimburse me, never get a gift cards from Walmart. So this leads me to believe what? She did it online. But then the information I'm going to bring you says it's better to do it online from the merchant itself, not the store. So this lady, I'm assuming, is saying she went on the Walmart app to get them to send the card or send it to her. And then she says it was never issued. I don't know. This is all craziness to me. Okay. So one girl, Lady Jennifer, says, this also applies to other stores such as Target. Happened to my friend and her friend, and Target would not do anything to help them. One person says, hire an attorney, which makes no sense. Who's going to hire a damn attorney for an $800 card? Which $800 is some money, but guess what? You're going to spend more money on a lawyer trying to get your damn $800 back. She did the right thing by contacting her damn bank, her Visa company. She paid with a Visa card. You call Visa, trust me, Visa going to get to the bottom of it one way or the other. And when Walmart realized Visa's not going to pay, ding, 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 ding. The rest is history. Matter of fact, this was a good thing that happened. Bad for the people who need the gifts, but good that she purchased with a Visa card, because the credit card definitely is not going to render any money on a fraudulent purchase. So it was a good thing she paid with her Capital One instead of cash for the Walmart cards. Because the credit card doesn't have to issue payment for anything they believe fraudulent. So that was a good thing she did purchase these cards with her credit card. Somebody says, I honestly thought this problem was solved years ago. I guess not. Gift cards are too risky. Somebody said, just give the families cash. They may need to pay a water bill or something. You can't do that with a Walmart card. Somebody said, I usually give a Visa card since you can use it almost anywhere. That's probably the best thing. Yes. But then their database could be compromised as well. It's still a card. I don't know. It's just sad all the way around. Somebody says you will need to sue them if they don't take some effort to return the money. Contact the AG's office and let them know. Very interesting. Oh, another person says, what a waste of someone's time that she'll never get back, all because of some fraudulent people. I hope she gets her money back. Now, here's somebody who says, I used to work retail. I caught a guy once who had taken a handful of gift cards, took them back to the store, and was taking pictures of the cards. I informed him that the cards need to stay up front. I took them and destroyed them. So I'm sure that he was going to put them back on the rack. And once they were purchased and activated, boom, it is my opinion that is a huge scam. See, that's the only way that would work. That's exactly the question I was asking about. How is this working? How am I going to know to navigate the cards to use them if I don't have the card actually in my hand? Because she purchased the cards and she said she didn't see that anything was tampered with on the back of the cards. So how is a random stranger going to know, one, when the cards have been purchased? You'd have to have a number to call in order to know, you see what I'm saying, that the cards were purchased and that there's a balance on the card. So as you heard this one person here writing, the guy took pictures of the cards. Yeah, that's the only way that's going to work. You take pictures of the cards. You have a 1-800 number to verify the code on the cards, and you could only be using it online. You can't use it in the store, because how are you going to go in the store with items and put them at the register and then read off a code from a phone I don't think anyone's going to accept your purchases that way. This is very baffling to me. Very strange. Thank you all so much for joining me. Please check my community board for that said update pertaining to these church members dealing with this terrible debacle out of Texas, purchasing Walmart cards where they had some issues of money being taken off the cards. They don't know how the money came off the cards. She didn't see anything wrong with the cards when she looked at the back of the cards. So I don't know if this is an inside job from Walmart or someone phishing the database of Walmart cards. I don't know. This is very strange. But we're going to get into how the cards are breached. Thank you for joining me. And this is how it goes. Oh, Lord, it's always something, Jesus. Gift Card Prevention 2023. Chargebackguros.com is the source of this information pertaining to gift card fraud. So it is up to you if you decide to buy a card and or if you would like to receive a card. Here are the tips from the Gift Card Fraud Prevention. Thank you all so much for joining me.
ChargebackGurus.com. Gift Card Fraud Prevention 2020. It's often said that giving gift cards is impersonal, but consumers have spoken, and it turns out that as both givers and recipients, we're perfectly fine with impersonal. Consumers love the flexibility and convenience of gift cards. Merchants love consumers who buy their gift cards. Unfortunately, gift cards are prime targets for scammers and fraudsters, and gift card fraud can leave merchants vulnerable to damaging chargebacks from the credit cards that were originally used to purchase them. How can merchants protect themselves and their customers against gift card fraud? Gift card sales were around $160 billion in 2018, an eyebrow-raising figure that keeps growing every year. Despite the risks, it makes sense that merchants would want to offer gift cards. Consumers want them, they increase sales, and they can be a good marketing tool. The important thing is to understand the ways in which fraudsters can exploit gift cards so that you can take precautions to minimize the risk and empower your consumers to keep their funds safe. What types of gift card fraud exist? Gift cards are untethered to individual identities, hard to trace, easy to convert to cash or resellable goods, and ubiquitous. Better yet, for fraudsters, they're not bound by the same extensive regulations as credit or debit card transactions. It's no wonder so many different scams have developed around gift cards. Here are the main ones you should be aware of, along with some advice about how to defend yourself. Gift card refund fraud. If a customer ever wants to return a product and asks to have it refunded to a gift card, watch out. It could be a part of a scheme to extract some untraceable funds from a stolen credit card. What the fraudsters do is use a stolen credit card number to make an online purchase, then send it back for a refund on their gift card. Eventually,
Let me interject right there. Most stores give credit back on items through gift cards. Walmart does it. Target, Ross. You don't have a receipt. Let's say you don't have a receipt for an item. That is the first thing they give. They give credit back on a card, on their store card. So that's not necessarily true that a person would be saying, hey, I want a gift card. Most people already know that stores give credit back on gift cards, especially if you do not have a receipt for the item. Let's say you bought something and you thought it was going to work, you threw away the receipt, and then you realize, oh, I don't like it, or it doesn't work well, you take it back. They now give that's what they've been doing, is giving credit back on gift cards, the store card. Credit, it's just really credit for the item, the total amount of the item. Just a little bit of information there, everybody.
the payment card's true owner will report it and request a chargeback, but the fraudster usually has plenty of time to spend or sell the gift card funds. What merchants can do to avoid this is always insist on refunding to the original payment card. Customers may claim that they no longer have the card, but this is usually a red flag. Even if true, the funds can still be returned to the old card account, and the customer can claim them from the issuer. Gift card number theft. Fraudsters can virtually print money for themselves by hacking into company gift card databases to steal card numbers and activation codes. This can be done via brute force hacking methods, malware, or using phishing or social engineering attacks against.
So is this what happened to the lady's cards purchase? This was a malware fraud attempt. Or not attempt, but they made their way through. Somebody went through the database of the Walmart cards through the computer, and they infiltrated the system and stole the money codes, which is whatever. And this is how they were able to do it. Still elaborate, because somebody was seen on camera going into the store, buying items at the other Walmart store. Because you would assume this would be somebody just going through the computer, breached it, and they doing it, somewhere in Oregon or Washington or some other state, New York, not actually in Texas. But people can breach systems no matter where they are. So I don't know. But allegedly somebody was seen on camera in Texas going in using that card information from those gift cards that the ladies purchased and bought it. And I don't see how they can't just show the picture on the news and say, hey, have you seen this person? They spent money off information from a card that was purchased from another Walmart, from a church, fraudulently. It shouldn't take long for somebody to call in and say, oh yeah, I know that person, blah, blah, blah. So I found that strange anyway, that they didn't air that information. It is what it is. But once again, were the cards breached through the internet and phishing attempts? Don't know.
For scammers and fraudsters.
Hold on a minute, guys.
To individual.
Kind of jump back there.
The payment card's true owner will report it and request a chargeback. But the fraudster usually has plenty of time to spend or sell the gift card funds. What merchants can do to avoid this is always insist on refunding to the original payment card. Customers may claim that they no longer have the card, but this is usually a red flag. Even if true, the funds can still be returned to the old card account, and the customer can claim them from the issuer. Gift card number theft. Fraudsters can virtually print money for themselves by hacking into company gift card databases to steal card numbers and activation codes. This can be done via brute force hacking methods, malware, or using phishing or social engineering attacks against company employees. Merchants who manage their own gift card data must make sure robust information security technology is in place to defend it against hackers, and should track gift card numbers and their usage carefully to look out for suspicious activity. Buying gift cards with stolen credit cards. The most widespread form of gift card fraud is also the simplest. Fraudsters simply use stolen credit card numbers to buy gift cards online and use or resell them before the merchant gets hit with the inevitable chargeback. This is one of the easiest ways for a fraudster in possession of stolen payment credentials to make a quick profit. Merchants who find themselves dealing with this kind of fraud need to look at the software tools, operational procedures, and customer service training that is allowing fraudulent purchases to go through. Things like AVS or CVV verification, 3D secure, and recognizing some of the telltale signs of fraudster behavior can help you stop these transactions before they go through and become a problem. Account takeover gift card purchases. When fraudsters gain access to a customer's compromised store account, they may have free rein to make purchases with stored payment credentials. But often, the cyber attack will be discovered before it's too late to cancel delivery. A more reliable way for fraudsters to wring actual cash out of a stolen account is to buy mass quantities of gift cards, which can be used immediately. It may be wise to flag accounts for review if they suddenly begin purchasing gift cards in unusual quantities. Physical gift card tampering. When you sell physical gift cards in open retail locations, you're open to a wide range of schemes that involve tampering with them. While there are various protections set up to prevent this, most of them are relatively easy for determined fraudsters to get around. This might involve copying one gift card's barcode onto other cards so that when shoppers purchase and activate the cloned cards, the funds go to the fraudster's gift card. Fraudsters also copy down the card numbers and activation codes on cards still on the sales rack, using stickers to cover up any scratch-off coverings they removed. As soon as an honest customer purchases and activates one of the cards, the fraudster can start using it. Conclusion. Remember, a gift card security system is a chargeback problem waiting to happen, or more likely, it's already a chargeback problem. The customers whose payment cards get used to fund the gift cards used in these schemes are virtually guaranteed to dispute the charge sooner or later, and even the best chargeback representment strategies won't do much to help you when true fraud is the reason. Don't treat gift card management like an afterthought, but subject it to information security reviews and do what you can to enable as much tracking and monitoring as you need to identify the sources of gift card fraud and take whatever action might be necessary to stop it.
To learn more, visit chargebackgurus.com.
Chargebackgurus.com is the source of that information. I hope it was resourceful to anyone listening to this information pertaining to purchasing gift cards and or receiving them. I don't know the best advice to give as far as, wanting to help someone at Christmas time, birthdays, whatever your reason is for giving a gift card. But you need to know the ramifications for purchasing cards that are sitting out in the open in stores. I brought you this information because I thought it would be useful to my viewing audience, and I hope that it was. KPRC2 Click Houston is the original source of the information of the women speaking about this issue. Let's get down to the main event. I'm 1 hour in. Sorry it took so long, everybody. Todd Chrisley'S prison complaints. Oh, wow. What a mess. Let me bring you a little background on Mr. Todd. So for those who did not follow any of his, he and his wife's reality TV show, Todd and Julie Chrisley are currently serving prison sentences for bank and wire fraud, tax evasion, and conspiracy charges following their conviction in June of 2022. The couple have already received reduced sentences, with Todd now serving 10 years while Julie will serve 5. This update came 3 days ago. Their daughter, Savannah, has given commentary via News Nation that she is currently taking care of her 17-year-old brother and 11-year-old niece. She's clarifying herself as a single parent due to the fact that her parents are currently in prison serving time. Mr. Todd has given an interview to his lawyer, who's also given that information to News Nation. So we're going to go into that commentary pertaining to Todd Chrisley's complaint of prison life. The one thing you always have to remember about doing wrong is that there are repercussions for doing wrong, especially when you are caught, whether it's probation, jail time, prison time, fines, fees, court costs, civil lawsuits. This is what happens. And some of you may empathize with what his complaints are, and then some may not. And some may say, I don't care what happens to you in prison. I don't care that the conditions are not up to par, that the place is nasty, filthy, bad food, bad hygiene, not enough staff members, not enough guards, prison assaults, not enough, you can't get what you want from the commissary. You're not getting your mail. The mail is late. They're reading your mail. The endless complaints. Too cold, too hot, not enough blankets, not enough wear, clothing, so on and so forth. One can say, well, you put yourself here in this position. That's why you're here. You're entitled to your opinion. To whether you even care about a prisoner's complaint. Because one can say, you put yourself there. Now, although many people who are in prison, their crimes are all different. Some are what some would say petty, such as thievery. Oh, thievery is no big deal versus murdering someone, raping, torture. But then it depends on what you stole. If you stole millions of dollars, someone will say, well, that's massive. That's somebody else's money. They trusted you, blah, blah, blah. But then the flip side is, well, you gave somebody money. They didn't tell you to give them your money. They didn't steal it. They didn't go in your bank account and steal it. You gave it to them. Everything's about perception. I'll put that up as a poll as well. How do you all feel about injustices in the prison system? Bad food, hygiene, peeling paint, rusted bars, so on and so forth. You give me your opinion pertaining to conditions in prison. Some of you probably don't care, and that you're entitled to your opinion. They had a reality show, ran for many years, multi-millionaire, believed only be worth $1.5 million now with all the loans he took out to house he and his wife's lifestyle. She's also complicit as a co-conspirator, $30 million in loans. He's also a feminine man, I noticed at times. I've watched him on TV. I never watched the show, never delved into the show. But the screenshots I would get, watching Bravo, whatever, or whatever network they were on, I said to myself, this man seems awfully feminine. From Atlanta, Georgia, real estate investor, who is now complaining about his life in prison. Let's go to News Nation, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Get down to the bottom of this nonsense. I also posted to my community board is his daughter's commentary to News Nation about raising the two children, the brother and the niece.
(2022) Todd and Julie indicted for federal tax evasion and bank fraud. They went to jail. They actually went to prison in January of this year, serving a combined 19-year prison sentence. He's in Pensacola, Florida. Julie's in Lexington, Kentucky. Until now, Chrisley hasn't spoken to the media since the sentence began. But News Nation's senior national correspondent, Brian Enton, got it done and got an exclusive with Todd from prison. It is good to have you. I am not surprised by your success, but I am glad that you worked it because this is somebody the audience wants to hear from. What do you got?
Yeah, it was difficult getting him, Chris. I was interested. I follow his daughter, Savannah, on social media, and she was posting a ton about the awful prison conditions at the prison camp in Pensacola, the federal prison camp where he is. Also, they just granted an oral argument in their appeal, which I thought was interesting. So I started digging into it, talked to the lawyer. The lawyer gave us permission to go interview him in prison, sent you guys sent your social security number, you filled out all this paperwork, and they denied us access to the prison, saying that it was a security risk. So
because of your rap sheet?
Yeah, no, not because of my rap sheet. It actually didn't really make much sense. I mean, I don't know how it was a security risk. When you get denied something, it makes you want to push even harder. And I promise it wasn't.
I tell you, you think you're going to rob all these houses and it just goes away because you've become a big shot at correspondent. The past doesn't go away, Brian.
No,
I'm just kidding. So So how'd you get in there? What happened?
Yeah, so I kept pushing. We weren't able to get in. They denied us. But through the lawyer, we were able to relay questions to Todd. We never reached out to Todd. I don't want to get Todd in trouble, so I want to make that clear. This was all through the lawyer. We were able to ask him questions, and then he relayed the questions to Todd. But he's very upset about the conditions in this prison, and he's putting himself at risk by doing this and exposing what he says is going on. But listen to a little bit of what he said. Do you feel like you're being treated fairly by the guards and the prison staff?
No. There are recordings of staff members here talking about he needs to be humble. What we need to do is we need to put him in diesel therapy and put him in shackles and let him ride around the country for 4 months and then bring him back, and that will humble him. He thinks this is one of his mansions. That's what's on the record. There was a photograph taken of me while I was sleeping and sent to my daughter asking for $2,600 a month for my protection.
Wow. What about the food, Todd? I mean, Savannah has talked about the food. Can you, is it unsafe?
It is so disgustingly filthy. The food is literally, I'm not exaggerating, the food is dated. It's out of date by at minimum a year. It's a year past expiration. And they are literally starving these men to death here. These men are getting, I don't know that they're getting 1,000 calories a day.
So what are you eating if you're not eating the food?
The only food that I eat is what I make that I buy from commissary. One of the warden's ways of I've been told this by a staff member, one of the ways he's trying to break me is by cutting down what you can buy in commissary. So before she came here, you could buy 12 packs of tuna a week. She cut it down to 6, and then it went from 6 to 3. She has not given a reason. She said, when I asked her about it, she said, commissary is a privilege, not a right.
So do you only eat tuna?
I eat tuna, I eat peanut butter, that's where I get protein. I eat like a pasta salad that I make. Pasta that I get in commissary, and then I start over again doing the same thing the next week. You've got rats, you've got squirrels in the storage facility where the food is. They just covered it up with plastic and tore the ceiling out because of all the black mold and found a dead cat in the ceiling that dropped down on the top of the food.
My gosh.
So they're not letting you in here because it's a breach of security or whatever. They don't want you in here where you can see what's really going on.
Now, we reached out to the prison, Chris. They say that there's nutritious food, that the facilities are, up to date and fine. But Savannah has pictures, and there's a real concern based on what Todd says about what's going on inside this specific prison.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go.
Woo, honey, the block is hot. Where do I start? Do you believe the allegations from Mr. Todd? Did somebody send pictures to his daughter of him sleeping and asking for money to keep him safe? That's extortion, bribery, all of the above. Who took the pictures? You know you're going to get in trouble for that because this is either state or federal facility. And you're taking pictures of inmates and sending them to their family members. That was not a good idea. Excuse me. Whoever did that, you are a dummy. Because let me tell you, the men who had sex with Susan Smith, maybe you should talk to them about canoodling and doing things in the prison you ain't got no business pertaining to the inmates. They got fired, fined, jailed, all that. And I don't think a person should have to be put into a sex offender registry just because they had sex with an inmate. But this is the dirty South. I keep trying to tell you all, we navigate differently down here. Government, state navigates different in the South. The rules of everything from the law, sex, everything navigates different than up north, out west, Midwest. The South is totally different. Hell, you can't even perform oral sex in the state of Georgia. It's against the law for those who didn't know. Ding, ding, ding. This ain't the place that y'all think it is. It's still that old-time slavery mentality, even towards white folks. Yeah, I said that. Old-time mentality. Now, although he's in Florida, that's still the dirty South. That's all the way at the bottom of the state. Probably a Republican state. Yeah, I said that too. She's in Kentucky, still conservative state, I won't doubt. 2 conservative states. Do you believe the allegations? Rats, cats, squirrels in the food compartment, 1,000 calories. Boy, he's meticulous on the numbers. Shut your mouth. He's fortunate to say he gets commissary. So who's putting money on the books for his commissary? He's talked to the warden about his commissary items. I think that's interesting. Cut down to 3 to 6 cans a week. Pasta salad. I almost laughed at that. I tried not to laugh and I didn't, but I'm going to say that struck me strange. He makes his own pasta salad. Shut your mouth. With what? Ramen noodles? Shut up, Angela. Or he's ordering noodles or pasta. Let me say. He's ordering pasta and noodles. Wait. He's ordering pasta and tuna to make the tuna pasta salad. I'm dead. Do you care about what's going on with Mr. Todd? Do you care about any inmates' issues? Because some can say, I don't give a fuck. I don't care about what they're going through. They put themselves there, whether it was thievery, selling drugs, using drugs, rape, sodomy. The list goes on for reasons that you can get yourself incarcerated. Or you're just a habitual offender and the judge says, I'm sending you to prison. You won't learn. You won't listen. Stay woke. Do you care? But I tell you what, if somebody took a picture of him sleeping and sent an extortion letter to the daughter, you have effed yourself royally. Because that's a no-no. Taking pictures of an inmate and trying to extort money from the daughter, you can make it possible to get this man released out of there. You all are not thinking. Now, naturally, one could say, ain't nobody going to let him out. He'd have to go before the parole board and they'd have to say, okay, he's not safe here, blah, blah, blah. They're mistreating him. They're trying to extort his daughter. And then, too, that girl can start hyping up stuff and say she's being stalked. Somebody's bothering her. Somebody's harassing her. Somebody broke into her car, trying to break into her house. You people are dumb. You see, you may not like Mr. Todd. You may think he's exuberant. He needs to be humbled. He's a kiss, he needs to kiss somebody's ass and live like normal people. He needs to know his worth. But guess what? You can also get this son of a something freed up out of there. You all don't think. See, that's the one thing about trying to do stuff to right the wrong, in your opinion. But in the end, is it our job to right the wrong? That's why people don't get involved with true crime and reporting things. As we've learned with true crime. I didn't see nothing. I didn't hear nothing, even though I did, but I ain't going to tell nobody because I don't want to get involved. I don't want my name out there. I want to be harassed. Old saying, pick your battles. Sometimes you pick your battles, you think you're doing right, but it brings problems. You all can create a problem right now trying to get back at Mr. Todd because you think he's an honorary son of a something, and you can end up getting this boy freed. You can also get his daughter money because she could sue this prison for harassment, stalking. You all are dumb as fuck. That's why I keep trying to tell people, you don't think. You don't think. Right now, she can go get a lawyer and sue the prison for harassment. And how are you going to explain that? Because if she has a legitimate picture, listen to me very carefully. Because if he doesn't have a phone, access to a phone, because we know, ding, 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 ain't nobody supposed to have a cell phone in prison. Ain't nobody listening to the queen. Let me say it again. Ain't nobody supposed to have no cell phone in prison. Even though we know they have them for those who do not talk to people in prison jail. Yes, let me enlighten you. They do have phones. They get them in there because ding, 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 ding. The staff is bringing them in there. They're paying the staff to go do stuff for them, to bring in the drugs, the phones. Stay woke. That girl can sue right now. She ain't got to worry about taking care of them 2 kids because she can sue that damn prison and get a lump sum of money for stalking, harassment. She fears for her safety. You got her fucking address. You sent her pictures of her daddy sleeping in his cell. You can't even explain that logically because you're not even supposed to have anything in there that could take a photograph, period. Ain't nobody listening to the queen. See, this is how you know people are dumb. You people out here that work with law enforcement, yeah, I'm gonna say that. You so miserable and bitter. You're mad at the black man, you're mad at the Mexican, you're mad at the Jew, you're mad at the Arab, you're mad, and you go out here and you do stupid stuff to get yourself caught up to where you give people free money. Because somebody's going to pay the piper either way. And you all are basically helping this people who are fraudulent, steal money, stole money to get money now to their daughter because she can go get a lawyer and sue and say, they're stalking my father, they're mistreating him, and now they're bothering me, and I'm not doing anything. And she has a case because she's out here as a civilian minding her business. And you're sending pictures to her of her fucking father sleeping in a cell when you're not even supposed to have access to a photographic device. And if they can prove that's a legitimate picture, it has not been doctored, then that means somebody in the prison took the photo, which means it was a guard, staff member. They found his daughter's address and sent it to her and asked her for money. You are fucked. So even if he don't get out of there early, you still gonna help his daughter get some money, because I won't doubt she has already consulted an attorney because of the photograph. Stay woke. You see, the hustle is real. And you're mad at this man thinking he's honorary, he's this, his shit don't stink. He thinks his shit don't stink. He's now in prison. He and his wife and family live high off the hog in Atlanta, stealing money from banks and blah, blah, blah. He's now in prison, but you are now helping his daughter get money from the state. You better wake up. And then you're going to lose your job and also be brought under charges for taking the damn picture and extortion. So in the end, who is the biggest loser? Wow. See, we don't have to care about Todd or his wife. We don't have to care that they were honoring. They got too big for their britches. They wanted to, walk around acting like they're, another extended white version of the Kardashians. Yeah, I said that. I wear Prada, Gucci, this and that. Nobody cares about that stuff because we already know most times children are sewing those great garments, pocketbooks. Chinese make damn near everything that you own in your apartment or house. Yeah, go check some of the stuff in your house right now and look at the bottom of the vase lamp picture. What does it say? Made in China. Checkmate. So you're sitting there breaking your damn neck on some stuff that's mass produced, going in debt, stealing from folks, defrauding folks to buy some bullshit that's made in China. I said that because it's the truth. God, I done got crunk now. This is why you don't idolize stuff. As I told somebody yesterday, I've had the best of everything in life. I sure have. The only thing I didn't have was 6,000 square feet of a house and a Mercedes that was newer. But I've had a Mercedes, older. Had foreign cars, older. But the point I'm trying to make is that the monetary stuff is just what it is. It's stuff. And it's made abroad. It has no value. So when you're going into these stores and you're buying this bullshit from Ross, Macy's, wherever, it's bullshit. $300 for a coffee maker, blender, toaster. Keurig's name is on the Keurig maker. All it's doing is boiling the fucking water with a fucking coffee pot in it. Do I need to spend that $50, $60 just for a coffee maker? And I've done it. My kind fans 2 years ago sent donations so Queen could get a damn coffee maker. I went and bought it from Target. It took everything out of me. I didn't want to buy that coffee maker. I wanted the coffee maker, but I didn't want to pay 50-something bucks for a coffee maker. Because the first thing I said was, damn, it's just a coffee maker. It's just a coffee maker. I'm paying $55 just because it says Keurig. Not that it's a coffee maker. Stay woke now. It's a Keurig. So Keurig's name runs supreme. And that's what's wrong with us, getting attached to stuff. And I'm not trying to jump off the subject, but it needs to be said because it's Christmas time and people go broke, spending all their last money, coins, debit cards, credit cards for stuff that has no value. And this family is a prime example. They have probably wasted God knows how much money on bullshit, shoes, clothes, this and that. And the shit's made in Indonesia, Mexico, China, and it's mass produced. Just like I tell people, when you sit here and judge a person for shopping at the Dollar Tree, how the hell do you know that those same plates and cups that's $1.25 now wasn't on the same assembly line with Pottery Barn plates, Kirkland's plates, Williams Sonoma plates, silverware? Come on with it, Queen. They ain't listening. I've got Williams Sonoma coffee maker and cutlery and spatula. Gonna pay $15 for a spatula? Yeah, somebody needs to school you. Because I tell people, I don't get attached to nothing. Right now, I have basically emptied this apartment out to where you don't know if I'm coming in or I'm going out. Because I don't care about this stuff. I don't want to get attached to nothing because one, I'm getting older. My health isn't the best. And I don't want to be attached to nothing. I don't want people having to come in here and sit up here and have to cipher through a house hoarded up full of junk to get it out of here. I don't want that much stuff. I don't need that much stuff. And as you get older, you don't need a bunch of junk. And somebody needs to tell the wealthy that, and somebody needs to tell the poor, working class, middle class that. You don't need this shit. And these people are out here borrowing money, defrauding banks and loans for bullshit. Because in the end, Gucci, Prada, that stuff has no value only to somebody who wants to spend the money on it. I would prefer right now to have a lump sum of money for a house paid for and a car paid for. I don't owe a note on a house. I don't owe a note on a car. That's what you should be worried about with your finances. But back to the subject. These people were afforded the opportunity to live well off the hog, but they were living fraudulently. And see, that's the thing we don't get and we don't know when we see and hear these stories and see people standing in front of the camera, posing in their designer duds and they're smiling. You don't know that they fraudulently got that stuff in the wealth. Because guess what? He's stolen 30 million, but only worth 1.5. Come on with it, Queen. So you're living this lavish lifestyle down in Atlanta off a lie. And many people, let me make this clear to you. Many people live off of that same lie here in America. They don't have nothing. You're walking by, idolizing, angry, mad, bitter because Susie has a Mercedes, a Bentley, a Maserati, whatever, a Tesla. But you don't know that they got all of that with credit. They had good credit. See, most Americans have what they have because they had good credit. And I ain't knocking nobody with good credit. I would tell young people, don't mess up your credit because that's how you're going to be able to attain a nice house, a nice home. But where you mess up is you start getting beside yourself and you start spending, buying stuff you don't need, eating out every day for lunch, eating out every day for dinner, buying up all this stupid stuff from Victoria's Secret, this and that. Hey, yeah, I believe you need 30 pairs of underwear because you got 30 days in a damn month. Hell yeah, you need 30 pairs. Matter of fact, make it 60 because you might want to take a shower at night, change your damn underwear. I'm cool with that. But you don't need 800 pairs of underwear. How about that? You don't need 20 things of dish detergent. That's the point I'm trying to make. is knowing the limit to the shopping. You see, you have all types of debt, hoarding. It's all the same. And you have this rich guy locked up, wife locked up, daughter crying and moaning that she's taking care of 2 kids, single parent. And I get it. She's not 30 years of age. She shouldn't be having to be in this position, but she wanted to do the right thing, take care of her brother, take care of her niece. As she said, one person income, all because her parents were greedy and wanted to steal from the government, steal from the banks. So now she's in this position of taking care of 2 people, plus herself, 3. But it is what it is. And they don't care about her because, see, they didn't think about that when they were stealing the money. Oh, who's going to take care of this niece and this kid? If we get arrested, boom. We get a trial, boom. We get found guilty, boom. Yeah, your daughter. Because imagine if they didn't have an older child to take the niece and the brother in. Stay woke, everybody. You got to learn to live within your means. And I thank God I just am not that type of person to get attached to stuff. Many people have said that about me. They said, oh my God, just like your father. Stepmother said that once to me. They're both dead now. You're just like your father. You don't get attached to nothing. No, I don't. I'm not like you. His wife, she was like that, greedy. My father had a greedy wife, second wife. Shop, 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 shop all day. Ordering stuff offline. Can't walk, can't do nothing. So let me just shop online, shop online. And their house was just a miniature museum of stuff that was never used. DVDs in the floor, unplugged, not used. New furniture on the second level, not used. Crystal fireplace, not used. Trolls of her clothes on the second floor closet, not used. New furniture. Everything was new in the house when I went up there before my father passed away. Listen to me carefully. Everything in that house was new. Furniture was new. Tables were new. Stove was new. Refrigerator new. Stainless steel. Stainless steel fucking stove with a plastic on it. This heifer didn't even know how to use a fucking stove. Yeah, I'm going to go there today because somebody needs to hear what the queen is saying. Greedy. It's called greed. And we all get greedy. We all get selfish because we're human. But there comes a point where you need to know your limit. And that's what's going on with this family right here. They're locked up because they were greedy. And there are many people like them. They may not be defrauding people, defrauding banks for loans and stuff. But when you keep excessively buying things that you know you don't need, you're greedy. You may not have stolen anything. You may not have, went and got a loan to profit from getting more money to buy this and that. But the point is, whether you draw Social Security, you have a salary job, you have an hourly job, when you continuously buy things you know you don't need, it's still the same. It's greed. Now we have this man crying and moaning about living conditions in a prison, daughter being extorted for money to keep him safe. And he really has a big problem because now he's opened his mouth. Will he be safe in the prison? Let's go there. Mr. Todd Chrisley. You've now outed the warden. You've outed whoever took the picture, if legit, of you lying in your bed. You've now said they got rats, squirrels, cats in there, dead cats, contaminated food, dated food, 1 year, living conditions bad, the ward not letting you get commissary. Then we got to ask that question, is this rule set for all inmates or just Mr. Chrisley? Is this a mandatory rule? You can't buy so many cans of tuna, lotion, whatever the hell it is. Because what's going to be fucked up, we start finding out from other inmates, oh, I ain't got no problem with my commissary list. Then that means you are now picking on Mr. Chrisley personally. See, one thing begets another. And somebody in that prison is giving up information. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to start talking that are also in the same prison. Because if anybody can contradict what he's saying, such as saying, I don't got a problem with my commissary list, I don't have a problem with ordering things from commissary, then that's going to show that they are deliberately picking on Mr. Chrisley. And that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem, because then they're going to say, you're picking on the man and profiling him because of his alleged status that got him to be locked up in the first place. And you know that's not right. Because you don't have any business bothering Mr. Chrisley, harassing him, stalking his family, trying to extort his family for money. So now he needs to worry about his safety in there, because it's going to be bad if we hear, or horrific rather for his family, we find out he's hung himself or died by suspicious circumstances, or hurt, stabbed. Because you know they make makeshift knives and shit in there. And he's going out on a limb to tell this story. So whoever don't like him, taking pictures of him sleeping, recordings, now you got to ask that question. How did he get a hold of the recordings? How did he hear about the recordings? But you see, what people don't understand about jail and prison is just a miniature Peyton Place. Or broader Peyton Place, however you want to word it. See, people talk and gossip everywhere. Just like I brought commentary the other day about prison life. Some story I was talking about, and the guy was saying, oh yeah, we know who's coming into the prison. We get a list who's coming in and what they did. And I thought, why the fuck would you be giving prisoners itemized list of who's coming into the prison? What is this? What is this, a daily gazette of prison news? What the hell are we saying here? The prison has a leaflet? Oh, this is who bench pressed this much this week. This is who's being released. This is who's going up before the parole board. What the hell are we talking about? Because frankly, I don't think any prisoner needs to know who's coming in, where they're coming from, and their charges. They don't have any business knowing that. They have no business knowing that. That sounds like some guard talk to me. Oh yeah, such and such coming in. He got found guilty. He's coming over to our prison. No, nobody needs to know any of that. Because I don't even know if the public, have knowledge of where a person goes to prison once found guilty and then given their sentence. Just saying. Todd Chrisley, reality TV star, defrauder. He and his wife are currently in prison. She's serving a 5-year sentence. He's serving a 10-year sentence. He's claiming he's being mistreated in prison. He's not been able to get all his commissary. He was filmed in his prison. Pictures sent to his daughter to extort money from her for protection. $2,600 a month. Interesting number. Why not just say fucking $3,000? Come on with this bullshit. Who took the picture? Is there bias against Mr. Chrisley in this prison with his commissary? Somebody trying to extort him? Prison food bad, not getting enough calories. And what's funny is when he said these men aren't getting, as if he's not included in the group of people not eating properly. But see, this goes back to what I said. He gets commissary. So Angela's going to ask, who's putting money on the books for Mr. Chrisley? Mr. Chrisley, who's putting money on your commissary books? Your daughter? She shouldn't have any money because she's taking care of 2 other children, plus herself. So she shouldn't have any money. Is she giving money for her father? Commissary. What does she do for a living? What happened to their house, their monies? Was everything seized? Their monies, their bank accounts, assets, the house, furniture, this and that, jewelry, shoes, like they did Madoff. They took everything. They left his poor wife with nothing. They said that poor lady drove all the way to Florida in a station wagon. Riding around. Then leave her with nothing. And see, this is what happens when you get cahoots with people and they're stealing and defrauding. You may not have no idea what they're doing, how they got the money. You know, such as a spouse. The husband is the breadwinner. He's defrauding people, stealing people, taking investments, spending and doing this. As they say, robbing Peter to pay Paul. That's what Murdoch was doing. Stealing from this person and then take that money to pay off something else, then steal from another person to pay off that person. Just a vicious cycle. Wife probably had no idea what he was doing. But they're usually the ones who pay the piper in the end. And she paid the piper, her and her son, because he murdered them. See, you don't know people. And in the end, these people here, Chrisley's, they're sitting here stealing money to buy bullshit. Shit made from China. I'm going to say that because I'm keeping it real. Fancy house, furnishings, clothes, shoes, trips, this and that, and some cars. Hey, it ain't nothing wrong with wanting a nice car. I get it. Everybody wants a nice car. Nobody wants an old beat up ass car. But when you're stealing from people and defrauding the banks, it's a totally different ballgame. Got to know your place. And this is what I tell people about idolizing people and putting people on pedestals. And we all have done it. We may not have been fanatical with it, but we all have watched TV, seen people we like, entertainers, actors, sportswomen, and wish we had what they had, their life, their status, but you don't know people. And this is why you don't need to idolize a man or a woman, put them on a pedestal, because you don't know them. And you also don't know that a lot of these people owe a lot of money for that so-called lifestyle that they have attained. You're thinking that they got all their ducks in a row. They actually have money in the bank. But then you find out they don't got shit. And it's even more dire when you hear a wealthy person, famous, don't got no money in the bank. Because you're saying, well, hell, what happened to all your money? Where did your money go? Same thing with a regular person. Well, you work every day. Where'd your money go? Yeah, buying stuff. That's where the money went. Buying all that cheap shit from China. That's where it went. Blue jeans, clothes, shoes, toiletries, this, that. That stuff adds up. Credit card debt for, once again, some old cheap shit from China. I'm going to keep saying that because people need to realize you're just wasting your fucking money and your credit. $200 for a Keurig that does this in the microwave with the built-in toaster and all this. And little do you know, you can't work the microwave and the toaster at the same time. It's just connected. But you can't do both at the same time. Stay woke. Oh, it makes this and it grinds the coffee beans and blah, blah, blah. Do you need all this stuff? You don't. And that's what these people need to understand, such as the Chrisley's and so many other regular people, famous people. What is the point in defrauding people, the banks, fraudulent investments, all that, not giving people their money returns just to buy a bunch of stuff? Hello, Easily Distracted. Thank you for joining me. Happy holidays. Because in the end, that's what got this man and his wife in prison, is living beyond their means. And that's why I'm going on and on about shopping and buying stuff and messing up your credit to get stuff, defrauding the bank for loans. In the end, it's to buy stuff that has no value. That's the point of this. And his greed, his wife's greed, led them to the place that they are, which is currently incarcerated. And now he's complaining about his situation. Do you believe the allegations by Mr. Todd Chrisley against the prison, the extortion from somebody who took a picture, the living conditions, old food, rat, squirrels, dead cat falling out the ceiling, not enough food, possibly 1,000 in calories on food administered to the inmates? Do you believe these allegations? News Nation is the source of that information. Last subject matter is pertaining to Casey Anthony. News Nation is also the source. Thank you for joining me. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are always welcome during the live. All this information is posted to my community board if you need verification. What is the new business pertaining to Casey Anthony? Who is this person who has information to disprove Casey Anthony's defense? Father, brother, neighbor, friend, attorneys. Who is this person? Banfield's going to reveal them, I believe, on Monday. Let's see what happens, everybody. Thank you for joining me.
Believe it. Because this coming Monday marks 15 years since Kaylee Anthony's remains were found in a swamp in Florida. And I have been on this story since day one, every day in that courtroom. And with that anniversary, we've got some bombshell information that seems to disprove what I heard the defense and their theory of how they opened the case, of how 2-year-old Kaylee died after Kaylee went missing. But before her mother, Casey, was tried, Casey was released from jail for 8 days and spent that time holed up in her family's house with her parents. And something happened inside that house that could make even her biggest defenders rethink that not guilty verdict. On Monday, someone who was inside the house and witnessed things that have never been reported before joins me for an exclusive interview and observations that he's never revealed until now. And you won't want to miss what he's got to say. Again, that's Monday night right here on the show. In the meantime, thank you for watching.
Okay, Banfield, you and your CIA BS. I liked you at one point, but a lot of people said you just gotten out of control, especially when you started covering the Idaho 4. Just the random and on. He said, she said, and this source said this with the Idaho 4. That kind of got to me too, because I got kind of sick of that. And I don't even like talking about the Idaho 4 because it's just so outrageous and out of control. But anyway, who's talking to Banfield? Excuse me. Who's this person who has information to disprove her defense? As I said at the beginning of this live stream, what was the defense? Because I'm lost. What was the defense? The brother did it. The son did it. The butcher did it. The utility worker that found the body of the little girl did it. So who did what? What does this person have to say? Is this the father speaking? Because you can see the breakdown of the relationship between the parents. That was the interview I watched. I can't remember what network aired the interview a few years ago. They were at odds. They were arguing during the interview. It was so dysfunctional. I was like, what the F? And the first thing I said, see, this is your payback for enabling this beast that you raised. You coddled Casey. The reason why she ended up killing her kid in the first place. You just coddled her. You were helping taking care of her, the little girl. She saw that. That's why she pulled off that ruse of going off with the little girl, killing the kid, disposing of the kid a mile or so from the house, and then just living it up. La vida, this, whatever the tattoo was she put on herself. She didn't care. You enabled her. This is what people need to understand about enabling your children. You can build a beast. I love my son. I love my daughter. I'll do anything for him. Be very careful. Because the scripture tells you, speak, and it shall be so. You have to be careful what you claim. I'll do anything for my kid. Yeah. And you might be in the rabbit hole doing anything for your kid. Because you see, if you enable your child not to be a responsible person during childhood and an adult, you have built a monster. You will build a monster. Because your child will not know how to navigate out here in the real world where people don't give a you-know-what about them. They don't care about how they were raised and what they came from and who their parents are and what type of house they got and car they drive and they were a cheerleader and on and on and on. That shit don't mean nothing out here in the real world where people are beast savages, beat up, bruised up, misled, hoodwinked, bamboozled, hurt people. Here you come talking about what your mama and daddy did and gave you. Nobody cares because that's just the way it is. And Casey was coddled. That's why it was easy for her to kill her kid and lie and implicate her own damn family when she went to trial. Stay woke. And that's the whole point of a trial. The burden is on the state to prove the case against the defendant, not the defense. The defense doesn't have to do anything but lay back. And Mr. Baez did just that. He laid in the cut. And he threw out little beads of salt to who could have possibly done it besides the defendant, Miss Anthony. And it worked. To 12 goofy-ass jury members. You see, the jury doesn't have to actually believe that she did it, didn't do it. They're supposed to do what the judge instructs them. It's to listen to the evidence to say she committed the crime. So in your mind, you could say, I think she did this to her kid. But the state didn't prove to them, let me say this, to them that she did it. Now, my eyes said the state did prove their point. You can say it's circumstantial. The baskets that the baby was in, the canvas bag she was found in, matches the bags that were at the house. They came in 3s from Target. Number 1. Stickers on the tape on the mouth matched the stickers from her house. The blanket she was wrapped in matches the matching sheet set from her house. Stay woke. The sensory test in the trunk of decomposition from one of the scientists up here from my area, from Oak Ridge, Tennessee, from the National Lab. Scientist goes to the trial to testify. He's the first to induct the smell test of decomposition in a trial. 12 members of the jury debunked that, which I thought was so disrespectful. Because it's just like any test. There always has to be a first. It's no different if right now you walk into someone's house, your house, McDonald's, and you smell beef. Who the hell is it to tell me I ain't smelling beef? Stay woke. I don't smell potatoes. I don't smell fish. I don't have to see the fish cooked on the grill, in a pot, in a pan, but I smell fish. So you're going to tell me, no, what you're smelling is wrong. That ain't fish. Then what the hell is it? So bleach, decomposition, same thing. Smell test detects bleach. Decomposition, dog hits on a trunk. That ain't right. I don't see it. I don't see the bleach. Can't be bleach. I don't see the decomposition. It ain't decomposition. What the hell? Then you got a dirty lawyer that says, I'm going to put everybody on the chopping block as a suspect. So once you throw the father in there as a suspect, the brother, accuse them of child molestation of Miss Casey Anthony, and the utility worker as the suspect, well, damn. 12 members fell for that. That's disturbing to me. Who is this mystery person? And what will he have to say to the general public pertaining to the defense of Casey Anthony? And why are you coming forward now, sir? What do you have to say now? Please don't tell me this is her father, because I'm going to be like, man, I don't want to hear nothing you got to say, because too late. Ship has sailed. Brother, ship has sailed. So who does that leave? That leaves either a friend who went to the house to console the family, or an attorney, or a cop. Take your pick. I've said this before in my commentary, and I've said it recently about people coming forward after the fact. You don't have to agree with anybody coming forward with an allegation against another human being that they did something to them. They said something to them pertaining to a true crime. And we know this happens, and we know that crimes do happen, and people never tell the story. People hold the lie, hold the secret. And we've learned this so many times with crime, especially when it comes to child molestation, rape. Somebody holds the lie, the secret. So you can't say what's true and what ain't true. It's just a matter of your perception if you believe it or not. So that falls into this category here of this mystery man. What does this man have to tell us about Casey Anthony and the murder of her daughter all these years later? Because people are going to say before Monday, who is it? What is it they have to say, and why now? Because 12 members have deliberated and they set her free. And it's a shame to know that Casey Anthony is breathing and walking around free to wreak havoc. A few years ago, she had an altercation with a woman in a bar about a man they both were sharing and dating. And I told myself, see, this is exactly what I'm saying. Had you all voted guilty, you wouldn't be hearing this damn story. You might be hearing a prison story, but you wouldn't be hearing a story of her walking around and getting in a fight with another woman in a bar about some damn guy. Then you got to question the guy. The hell you want with Casey Anthony? Damn, you just fucking desperate for a woman? This is all you could pick out of the pickings in Florida of a woman to date, have sex with, Casey Anthony. Stay woke. Because we have men like that. Yeah, I'm all over the place right now. She needs a savior. Oh, that she does. Come on with it, Queenie. She needs Jesus showing us. She don't need no human savior. She needs Jesus Christ superstar. Alpha and Omega only. Because you see, man and woman can't do anything with Casey Anthony. And that stupid ass man who has this private investigation company and having her work for him as an accountant and this and that. Man, come on with all that bullshit. You just as crazy and sick as she is. And that's the point I always try to make to the chat and the viewing audience. There will always be people who will enable a sick individual. It will always happen. This is why you have secrets held by the perpetrator. Because don't ever think the perpetrator is the only person that knows the secret of the crime. They usually break down, tell somebody. Not all the times, but they do tell. Some of them do tell. And at some point, they can't hold a secret. And it's just a matter of who's going to tell it and when. And it's not fair for people to be wondering, when is justice going to come home? Because there's been no justice in the case of Kaylee Anthony. Cute little girl, snuffed out by her own damn mother. 12 members of the jury refused to accept the evidence brought to court, represented by the state, and they set her free. And to this day, I can't understand how. What in the hell did you miss during that trial? She was the last one to have her child, number one. She lied about working. Never held that position. She had it, but she lied. So her parents thought she was going to work. Detectives took her to the place where she allegedly worked, whatever it was, Disney World, land, whatever, and finally admitted, oh, I don't work here anymore. Knowing all along she had not been working there, but still took the detectives to the place, property, down the hall, and then finally said there, oh, yeah, I don't work here. They were like, shit, we already knew that. Because they already did their homework. They already knew she didn't work there before they took her there. See? What does that tell you? As I was watching the 48 Hours story last night about a young lady killed by allegedly her husband in her house. He married another lady. Foolishly, that girl married him. And the one thing she said is, if you lie about one thing, what else have you lied about? Yeah, you lied about that wife, number one. And this is not to say that a liar becomes a thief. A liar becomes a murderer. But the qualities that a murderer has are usually thievery and lying. Because you see, one thing begets another. Lying leads to thievery, defrauding people, murder. A thief may never become a murderer. Thief may never lie, may own up to his thievery. But 9 times out of 10, a thief will possibly lie. Stay woke. And this girl was caught up by her parents. She saw that they cared for that little girl. She saw that she could do whatever she wanted to do while living in her house. And she took advantage of the situation. She murdered her kid. She wanted to be free. She didn't want to be tied to the kid. Listen at me carefully. I'm going to live in my parents' house for free, but I don't want to be tied to the kid. The kid was dead weight, collateral damage. I don't work. I'm lying. They don't know I don't have that job anymore at Disney World, but I'm going to keep lying. I want to live off my parents. Don't do shit with my life. Party, do this, but I don't want to keep coming home to fuck off, sleep all day, lie to them, and then be responsible for this kid at some point. And a lot of people really don't understand that. Because some of you will say to yourself, you'll say, well, her parents helped out. Why kill the kid? Why kill the kid? They would have taken care of the kid. You don't get it. She didn't want to do shit with her life. And she's got to go back and stay in this house doing nothing with the kid being there. And she's got to interact with the kid to play the role like she cares for the kid. But she didn't. The kid is in the way. Because in your mind, you're thinking, well, it would be too easy. Just go on and tell the parents, hey, I don't want to raise the kid. Can you take care of my kid? I want to go do me. 9 times out of 10, they would have done that. But she didn't want to do that. Because it's easier to just knock off the kid and still be hanging around in my parents' house, eating and sleeping for free with this missing kid. Because think about what happened. The kid goes missing. Where does she return to? Stay woke. She comes back to mommy and daddy's house. There's no Zanny the nanny. There's no staying off with the boyfriend and staying in somebody else's fucking house. Because guess what? At some point, people get tired of you. You ain't bringing in no money. You ain't paying no light bill, water bill, rent. They don't want you there. You're eating up all the food. You ain't getting up going to work. Hey, where's your kid? Hey, they know about the baby. Don't matter if they care about the kid or not, but they're going to ask, hey, where's your kid? Oh, she's at her parents' house. But at some point, people are going to say, damn, you don't never get your kid? You ain't spending time with your kid? You're over here all the time. Where's your kid? She didn't want to be bothered. She didn't want to be obligated. She wanted to do whatever she wanted to do and still have the luxury of having access to her parents' house, funds from the parents, eating, sloughing off for free, sleeping for free, coming and going, but without the attachment to Kaylee. And now, fast forward, many moons later, somebody's decided to speak to Miss Banfield. about information pertaining to her defense. And I'm to the point where I'm like, I don't even care. Because I'm trying to understand 12 members of a jury freeing her. So what is this person going to tell me that's of relevance? When 12 members of a jury should have saw she was guilty of murdering her own damn kid. Because in the end, you can't explain a baby wrapped in their own blanket from their own house matching their sheets. That should have been evidentiary number one. Oh, yeah, we found the kid wrapped in a blanket and it matches a sheet set at her house. Where would a stranger get the blanket from? How would the stranger have gotten in the house to take the kid, to kill the kid? Stay woke. State or defense never brought forward another person who had access to get the kid out of there, to dump the kid a mile away from the parent's house. And yet 12 members of a jury couldn't see that this lady is the person who had the fucking kid and killed the kid. She's the last person with the kid. Parents are calling 911. We ain't seen the kid in a month. And yet you could not rule a guilty verdict. That's baffling to me. It's baffling as hell. And I've seen a few cases out of Florida that don't make no damn sense to me. Biasness in white on white crime, white on black crime, a lot of that white on black crime, stand your ground alleged scenarios. It's like there's something in the water down there. These people are like blind to common sense, and I don't get it. And you got men just enamored with this thing to want to be dating and betting her. Well, go ahead and make a baby with her. See how that turns out. And by the grace of God, she has not turned up pregnant. Thank you, Jesus. Because she knows she don't want no damn kid. The thought of her having a baby is too much to bear for the human mind. And Casey Anthony knows she don't want no baby. And even if she has said that in her own, out of her own mouth, she don't want no damn kid. She wouldn't even know what to do with a kid because she didn't know what to do with the one that she had. The only thing that came to mind was murder. She killed that little girl. I don't care what anybody says. She killed that little girl. And 12 members of a jury got it wrong. And her attorney did everything he could to show reasonable doubt, and it worked. Who is the mystery person that has information pertaining to Casey Anthony? Banfield wants to know what was said during the 8 days she was at the house with her parents before being shuffled off to jail to stand trial for the murder of her daughter. I don't think it even matters what was said. I think her parents know that she killed the little girl. I don't think they really just want to come out and say in unison that they know that she killed the child, but they know that she wasn't there at their house, and nor was the little girl. So Casey Anthony is the only viable suspect to have murdered the child. Either Casey Anthony or the company she was in. Take your choice. But I believe it was her, due to the fact of the child being wrapped in a blanket that matches bedding from the house in the room where the child was staying at the house with the parents. This is all Casey Anthony's doing. And whatever this person has to say, what difference is it going to matter when she's already stood trial and been found not guilty? She cannot be tried again in a court of law. It would be double jeopardy. And I think the law should change that if a person is found not guilty during trial and there is imminent evidence to show he or she did commit the crime, I think they should be retried. Some may disagree with me. Because a lot of times evidence is circumstantial because that's all the state has to offer. They can't just make up stuff, bring anything into court to say he or she did this. So sometimes all they have is circumstantial. So this is why a lot of times the suspect gets hung jury. They can't reach a decision, the jury panel, a mistrial, and or they're found not guilty because there just wasn't anything to say definitively that person killed this person. But I'm going to say it again. I don't see how you all denounce Oak Ridge National Laboratory scientists' findings of the trunk, of the smell test, the blanket the little girl was wrapped in, the blanket that was in the bag she was in, which matched the other 2 canvas bags in the garage, the sticker on the duct tape, which matches stickers found at the house, matching stickers. I don't get it. That's my information. Todd Chrisley's complaining about prison life. Texas church members complaining about fraudulent gift cards they purchased from Walmart. And Walmart has refused to give them the money back. And a new witness has info on the Casey Anthony case and what was said in the house. Blah, blah, blah. Updates posted to my community board, also mentioned during this live stream. And 48 Hours is airing a segment tonight on CBS at 10 p.m. pertaining to an African-American woman who went missing. And her husband is the prime suspect. That is tonight at 10 p.m. on CBS, 48 Hours. Please check out the information. Feel free to go to my community board to get a pre-clip of the episode. I will be watching that tonight at 10 p.m. Come back later with a discussion pertaining to that, perhaps. Please take the polls on my community board pertaining to cases I've discussed, hypothetical situations, homelessness, treatment of children in schoolhouses and DCS facilities. Another case out of Tennessee of a man who was scammed by a black couple out of New Jersey, killed himself months ago because he spent all his money out of his bank account because they pretended to be the FBI, saying he was stalking this celebrity he was talking to. All of it was a scam. And I put up hypothetical questions pertaining to that case. Please take those polls. Want to hear what you have to say about the information at hand. And please check out my latest upload yesterday pertaining to a Miss Hain out of Ohio who threw a burrito bowl in the face of a Chipotle employee. She's been given 2 years probation, $250 fine, 1 month in jail, and also ordered to work at a fast food restaurant for 2 months. Did the judge give the right rendering? Thank you for joining me. Hello. Easily distracted. Thank you for joining me, Miss Lolo. 2 skulls, 1 swing. Very interesting name. Thank you all so much for joining me on this wonderful Saturday in the high 10. Very cloudy here and rainy, chilly. I'm now going to find me something to do up until 10 p.m. to watch that 48 Hours segment. I'm going to watch a little HGTV and whatever else I can find myself, get myself into. Thank you all for following this network. If you'd like to donate to this channel, The Dream, $BigAndrew129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are always welcome during the live stream. Have a wonderful weekend. Please check the community board also for movie suggestions. Thunderbird was my last suggestion for the weekend. Free on Vudu, the Vudu app. All you have to do is sign in with your username, password, your email and password, and sign up for Vudu. Watch movies free, or you can rent and or buy movies from the Vudu app. Thank you for joining me. God bless all of you. Happy holidays. Stay safe. Beware of what you post on social media pertaining to your shopping endeavors. Don't leave anything in your car overnight or while in the mall parking lots. Put everything in the trunk. And ladies, if you're going to go out shopping at night, please take 1 or more persons with you. And if you have to go unload your car, go home, unload, and then go back out. Don't continuously keep going to the car with parcels because there may be people sitting in the parking lot watching you. Stay aware. This is the reason why I posted this commentary pertaining to the gift card scam. It is your choice to decide if you want to purchase gift cards from Target, Walmart, other stores. You may not even want to even purchase them from the online apps. It's your choice. But know that people are scamming the sites, websites pertaining to the gift cards. People are switching the cards and codes and how the hell they're doing it. I don't really know. But I brought you this information. It is up to you to decide if you want to purchase gift cards or not. Be a recipient of a gift card. And prayers for these church ladies who are trying to get that $800 back in Texas from a Texas Walmart that refuses to pay the money for the fraudulent, stolen gift cards. Yes, cash is always good. But when you're dealing with church don't want to give people cash. And I can understand that. That's really not a good practice, is to start giving people cash from church. If you want to give your friends and family cash, that's different. But churches, they give gift cards because they already know this is not a good idea to be handing out cash to strangers and people you really don't know. So it's understandable that they would give out gift cards to people in church. But my thing is the people who are going to be getting these gifts from church, they're going to be grateful for whatever they get tomorrow, if that's the day, presents from the church. And they can explain to them, we had plans for the gift cards, but we've had some fraudulent issues. So we will work on something else at a later date. I'm sure the people will understand. It's the world we live in. There's always a propensity for fraud. That's just the way it is. Your bank account, somebody getting your ID, stealing your ID, opening up accounts in your name, loans, this and that. People that know your business, your credit, people fishing for things on websites. It's just the way it is. I mean, I can honestly say I've dealt with fraud 2 years ago, ordering a Bluetooth box. Didn't have any problems with my account until I ordered that box from Walmart. It was probably a week or two later when someone debited the account for $50 from the state of Washington. And the first thing I thought, it has to be through the Walmart app because that was coincide with when I ordered the Bluetooth box. PAL Bluetooth box. Thank God there wasn't a whole lot of money in the account for them to steal. And they probably didn't know how much to steal, so they just said, let's start with 50. But just imagine if there was more money in there and they had debit account for more money. Thank you, Jeannie. Oh, hello, 2521. Thank you so much. Happy holidays, sweetheart. Thank you for joining. I was just thinking about you last night, wondering where you've been. Thank you for joining me, sweetheart. Happy holidays to you. But that's the point. People have ways of stealing your money from your credit card. You ordering things from a site. You see, people know how to hack those sites and get in to get your account numbers and pins and this and that. Your Google account, they talk to you about that all the time, locking your phone, doing face recognition, fingerprint. This is why. Because there's always people on the tape. Just like right now, when you use your card and you go in, first thing they'll say on your phone, save passwords. You don't know who's getting access to that with the saved passwords. It's just the way it is. It's a terrible situation. This is why you have to keep account of when you spend your money with your debit card, credit cards. You need to pay attention. I advise you to get the app from your bank to check your account regularly. You went out and shopped tonight. You knew what your balance was before you went into, let's say, Walmart, Macy's, whatever. Check that app on your phone to see what you spent. Some of you get alerts from your bank of when you bought something, spent something. I've yet to get any alerts from my bank of when I've spent something. But if there's a big amount spent, they definitely do contact me, especially in the hundreds. They will, I will say that, they will call, the fraud alert will call me directly to ask if I spent that amount. So that's a good thing. On my card for concert tickets, now I always pay inside. Yes, well, easily distracted. They jimmy those. They have a tool they put into the card machine that copies credit cards and debit cards. That's an older scam. So obviously they probably still do that. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, Jenny. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, sweetheart. But yes, I don't recommend using your debit card, credit card at the gas pump, because they've been doing that for years now, using a device that takes a tally of all the cards coming through and gets a hold of your personal information. And one thing about the credit card, debit card situation, a lot of times you can possibly go online and order stuff. I don't think they ever ask you for the 3-digit security code that's the CVV on the back of your Cash App and your credit card and your debit card. Some may ask, some don't. So this is how they're able to scam us. They get the card. That's all they need. The credit card people, the company that they're ordering stuff from, like right now you go on a Walmart website or whatever, Temu, they're not asking for that CVV number, and they're not asking for a PIN, passcode. Okay, what is your passcode? Because that would be stupid for you to give that. Naturally, that's not right. You're not supposed to give your passcode to anybody. And you're always recommended, don't ever give your passcode out. Your PIN, rather. So even if you order something right now from QVC or whatever, they're not going to ask you for the PIN. What's your PIN? Because anybody with sense will know, hell no, I'm not giving you my PIN. So the only thing left is the CVV number, which is the 3-digit code on the back of the card. I don't think most companies ask for that number when you're ordering things online. And that's where the fraud comes in with ordering things online. Nobody's verifying the PIN and nobody's verifying the CVV number because that's not something you even want to be giving out even to somebody over the phone. It's just a tricky situation with ordering things online, people hacking the databases itself to steal this gift card business and switching of codes and stickers off the debit off the gift card. As I brought you that information earlier, I don't really understand how anybody has that kind of time, because I just can't see going up to the register with their cameras and I'm taking the card and now I've got to take that sticker off somehow or take a picture, or this is weird to me, because where am I going to do that in the store without their camera seeing me do it? That's weird to me, but it is what it is. Thank you all so much for joining me. God bless all of you. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy holidays. Sorry it's a winded live, but this was a 3-part update. This was a SmackDown Saturday of Todd Chrisley, the church in Texas, and new information pertaining to Casey Anthony. When I get an update to all stories, I will bring you that said information during our live stream. And once again, happy holidays. Please be safe. Be aware of your surroundings, your house, doors, windows, postings to social media. Be very careful what you post. And make sure you recycle all your TV boxes, stereo boxes in your car. Do not put those things outside near the garbage can or on the property driveway so people can see what you have purchased. You've been listening to the Vault XL.